So what this story is about is a guy whose house showed is sold on Zillow, and he, rightfully panicked. His house hadn't even been in the market, and when he called Zillow, he couldn't get through, and he called and complained and complained. He called his real estate agent. I've had this experience. There's nobody to call at Zillow. It's just a joke. They're one of the high-tech companies that live to never talk to humans. They would love to live in a world where everything is automated. They sit around in their offices and have lattes and design things. And so this guy was upset, and then they called NBC's LA office, who went out there, and of course, when NBC called, Zillow responds, and they do correct the problem. It was a data problem. Well, anytime you have data, you always have some data problem. That's part of the thing. But the thing that points out is that Zillow is absolutely unwilling to have in place service that will maintain the integrity of their data for the marketplace. They're only focused on their advertisers. Believe me, if it was an advertiser on their platform, and the data was handled properly, you've got people to call, you've got people to run on things. Within minutes, it gets fixed. If your ad's not done right, you ordered the ad banner in blue, it's in red, boom, they're going to fix it. But if you're a homeowner whose life is turned upside down because your house shows is sold and you're scared to death, you're retired, they're never going to return your phone call. Never reply to your email, never reply to your text. And literally in this case, this customer had to go to NBC LA4. And I've had this experience as a realtor. I didn't go to the news, we gave up. Or I explained to my customer why it didn't matter that the data was wrong. And I was able to convince them that Zillow is just an inaccurate database with garbage in it. And unfortunately, one of the pieces of garbage is on your house. And we just got to learn to deal with it. Now, when the house comes up for sale, then you can get involved with Zillow. You can customize the data. And if it's not accurate, they will respond. Why? Because Zillow's selling the ads. They don't care about the homeowner. They don't care about the realtor. They care about the customer buying the ad. And so they have a whole infrastructure to solve this problem. So the trick is when you put your house in the market, you can customize it. If it doesn't fix the problem, have your realtor take an ad out on your property if they'll allow it for one property more, which they don't really do these days. Or go to the listing agent who's advertised on there and complain to them. They can get it fixed because they talk to Zillow people every week. And yes, those people say we can't do anything. And it's not true. They're just lazy. And one of the things I have to remind you of all the time is if you're not paying for the product or service, if you're not the customer, then you are the product or service, meaning they're selling you. And so here's a case where customers get very attached to Zillow or other companies like them, some of these search engines. And the reality is those companies don't care about you. You're not the customer. The customer is the realtors that they're selling your data to 2 and 3 and 4 times. If you wonder why you get cold calls 8 years later for selling your house, it's because Zillow sold the data to an agent and the agent's still calling you.